Okay, so I'm going to go over the basics of the setup and the technique for greenside bunker shot. So this is the one shot in golf where we don't actually want to hit the ball first. The sand propels the ball out of the bunker. So we're basically trying to hit this shot fat, trying to hit it heavy on purpose, and the sand propels the ball out. So the goal is to hit about 1.5 to 2 inches behind the ball, and the only way for that sand to propel the ball out is if I accelerate through and the sand will actually splash out of the bunker. So if I make too short of a follow through, the sand doesn't exit the bunker, the ball won't exit the bunker. So when I set up to it here, I'm going to grip the club so the club face is maybe just slightly open. So if the sand were really dry, really soft, you'd want to open it more. But if it's firm, kind of like it is here, the sand is pretty firm, I'm not going to open it too much, or sometimes even keep it square if it's really firm and wet after some rain. So club face is going to aim where I want the ball to go, down the blue stick at the first pin, and the orange stick is aiming a little bit left or slightly open. Ball positions forward, kind of off my left instep, because again I'm trying to hit 1.5 to 2 inches behind the ball. I'm going to kind of work my feet into the sand. Weight's left about 60%. So in the backswing I'm trying to stay forward left with my weight rather than shifting or swaying back to the right. And the first move going back is wrist hinge. I'm trying to get that club head up quickly rather than taking it low and inside. That might cause you to hit the sand too far behind the ball, or hit the ball first and scull it over the green. So I want to get really steep here, wrist hinge right away, and the length of that follow through controls the distance. So I'm leaning left, wrist hinge right away. So I didn't quite go through a full finish. If I want to go to the flag all the way on the back of the green, one option is you could use less loft, a less lofted wedge, like a gap wedge, even a pitching wedge sometimes. But the main thing is I want to make a full finish now, go through to a full finish.
You're hitting with an open face?
Hitting, yeah, always with maybe a slightly open face, a little more square if it's really firm. If it's wet and firm, I'm not going to open it too much. So just slightly open for the sand here. It's a little on the firm side. The base of it is pretty firm, so if I open it too much, I might hit the sand and then the club would bounce into the ball. That's when a lot of the mishits happen. So just slightly open, and always making about the same length backswing, a three-quarter to almost full backswing, and I'm going to control the distance with the length of follow through. So to hit it further, try to go through now to a full finish. So that longer finish allows me to accelerate through and get the ball to fly a little bit further. So some of the different lies we can have: the uphill lie. This is a little more of a different setup, so now I don't want to lean left too much or have my shoulders leaning left, because then I'm going to dig in too deep. So I want to feel like I'm conforming to the slope, so shoulders matching the slope. Feels like my right shoulder is lower than the left. Swinging along the hill rather than too steep down into it. So that lie tends to launch the ball up in the air a little higher. It's easy to hit it high, it's tough to hit it far off of that one. And then the downhill lie is kind of the opposite. Sometimes you're up against the back lip here. So here, I want to really get the left shoulder down, going with the slope. Again, now a little more pressure on the left foot. Tendency here is to fall back on the right side. That's when you might hit too far behind it, pick up and hit it thin. So even putting my right foot outside the bunker, First move is wrist hinge. Sometimes the lip is pretty high back here. So wrist hinge right away going back. So this one will tend to come out a little bit lower. So I want to make sure you're using enough loft. I have a 58-degree wedge here, so using a lower lofted wedge, it might come out too low, then hit the lip. Okay, so that pretty much covers the basics of those, the flat lie, the uphill and downhill lie, what I like to see with the setup and the fundamentals. So I'll have you do some different drills and games here and work with you individually on your technique.